Oh, can I get you anything while you're waiting? Do you serve special stuff? Oh, okay. Sophie looks to you, shocked and disappointed. The only trace left of him is his fedora. Oh, you wake up. This is not your haven. It's a cramped space. You try to move your arms and find they are tied to your body. You can barely bend your legs. When you try to stretch your neck, you hit a cold ceiling. You can't quite believe it, but this is a coffin, or something close enough to it. It vibrates slightly, but you can't hear any sounds coming from outside. It's entirely dark. Why would you call out? Try to break out. Yeah, I'll try to sharpen my senses for this one. You focus and divert your blood to boost your senses. You begin to deduce some details. The vibrations mean you're in some kind of transport. Maybe a car? You can just hear the suggestions of an engine's hum. The cold interior is metal. The cold interior is metal for sure. More sounds that you try to focus on. A male voice, indistinct. The crackle of a radio. The brakes of a car. An impact. The container jostles about. The car door opens violently. You hear a gun being cocked. Ooh, a panic scream. Okay, an SI soldier? Operation compromised. Engaging blank bodies. Oh, a deafening shot rings in your ears. Dazed, you return to your senses to their normal levels. The ringing continues. The lid comes off. Oh. What the? Okay, trash can. Trash bin? We've found you. Hey! Okay. Seeing their faces is surprising, even more so in the circumstances. However, you realize the immediate danger and follow your companions out of the car and down a street in North Bronx. The van has crashed into another car, a familiar face, that of Kaiser's ghoul Jackie. He stumbles out of the wrecked sedan and slinks away into the darkness before you can call after him. The three of you jog away toward the line of the trees and take shelter under some branches. Just as you hear a chopper approaching, its searchlight illuminates the wrecked van and moves towards you. Okay. You see Tamika literally go underground, melding with the earth beneath her feet as if she was being swallowed. You look at D'Angelo, but he's not there. It must be his disappearing trick again. You're left alone with just seconds to make your move before the spotlight finds you. I mean, obviously. You take off before the light can reach you. In just a single dash, you find a small overgrown mound beneath an old tree. You realize that you didn't have to run that far. The searchlight passes through where you were standing just seconds ago, but doesn't actually reach much further into the park. The helicopter flies on, its searchlight frantically moving through the vicinity as your companions once again appear in your proximity. Okay, close call. We have to get out of here before the SI puts boots on the ground. Wait, the SI? What do they have to do with anything? Okay. The SI did a number on you. Your haven got raided and they took you for a ride upstate. They have a facility somewhere out of town. Not a place you'd want to be. The thing that surprised me the most though, it was Kaiser who contacted us and let us know. Okay. A dozen ways: CCTV, somebody saw you feed or use your powers, somebody was observing Langley and got interested in your connection to her, an organized operation like in 2016. Who the fuck even knows? Stay low, the SI might still be around. Kaiser's familiar car stops nearby, and the back door opens. Your allies usher you inside and join you. Being inside this mobile fortress never felt like a relief. Until now. Oh. Hi, fledgling. Miss me? Yeah. Oh, fuck you. You're here now only because I told your buddies that you were neck deep in shit. Okay, I broke you out as a favor. Now you owe me big. How did you know? I've kept eyes on you ever since that little job you did for me on Nolita. You know, in case I needed you for something else. I had to know your comings and goings. Oh? I have a good idea of why the SI hit you, Lamar. Not that there aren't tons of good reasons for it. It might have been one of these, for instance. The screens in Kaiser's car flicker and each of them now shows a short looped clip. It's you, getting into a fight, feeding, using one of your powers. Oh? Oh, you haven't exactly kept a low profile, fledgling. I get it. You're new to this. You didn't know better, yada yada yada. The fact is, the SI has tons of this stuff. Security camera footage, YouTube videos posted by onlookers, social media posts from victims, you name it. Like I said enough. I don't think any one of these did you in. Slip up happens. Not to you though, right? I always wondered, how is it that you can drive a pompously luxurious limo around NYC and not get caught? What's your secret? Body doubles? Decoy cars? Kaiser smiles, going for that anthropomorphic piranha look you saw a few times before. You do know what killed the cat, don't you, Mr. Finch? D'Angelo freezes and scratches his face, looking fiercely at the other Nosferatu. You notice that his hands are shaking. Oh? Well, do you? Stop shedding an upholstery and answer. Or I should use your given name too. Oh. Okay, what's going on? You've never seen D'Angelo serve anyone a Death Star quite like the one he's shooting Kaiser now. As much as I enjoy tempering you over as much as I enjoy tempering your overinflated ego, we're nearing our destination, so I think I'll move on. The reason why I need you walking and talking, Lamar, is to test a hypothesis of mine. For that, I need you to finish what you were tasked to do. So first things first here. He hands you a phone. The number has already been dialed. You hear the tone. Somebody picks up. Oh? Did that bitch backstab me? Oh? He shoots you a glance that doesn't leave much up to interpretation. Are you okay? What are you doing with that creep? Oh? I got captured by the SI. Listen, the plan, we need to do it tonight. But if the Inquisition is involved and you broke out, they'll be looking for you, so we can't meet in public. I have a place in mind, but Kaiser, are you still listening? Okay. Call this number from where you visited before last we spoke. I'll come pick you up. Curious. What is it that you've gotten yourself into? You never did tell me what kind of work you did for Langley. Don't play coy, D'Angelo. You must have figured out at least some of it out. Don't worry, we'll have plenty of time to compare notes after we let our mutual acquaintance continue with their night. If my intel is worth a damn, your next stop, Lamar, is right about here. The car comes to a stop, and the door opens. Outside, you see the street leading to Solids and Stripes. Torque's pool pub. Oh, well, you need me to kick you out? What about my companions? What about Tamika and D'Angelo? What about them? They're staying right where they are, and we're going to have a little chat. After we're done, I'm sure they'll find their way back to their havens just fine. Clock is ticking. I think I know what Sophie wants to do tonight, and if I'm right, tonight's the last chance you've got. If you want to say bye to your buddies before you go, that's fine by me. But that schedule of yours is pretty hectic, so you better do it now and scram. You thank both of your companions for their assistance. Without them, you wouldn't be here now. Kaiser makes a gagging gesture and urges you to step out of the car. I'm quite surprised that Hope isn't here? Okay. You turn around and make your way to the bar. The door closes behind you and Kaiser's limo starts moving again. You hope your companions won't have to pay too high of a price for helping you. Solids and Stripes is pretty much abandoned tonight, with only the bartender and one blurry-eyed local watching an old Bogart movie on the bar screen. You ask to use the phone and call Sophie first. I'm at the bar. You tell the bartender to notify Torque, just like the Anar leader mentioned you should. The man makes a short call. You only hear somebody picking up, but no words exchanged. The owner's on his way right now. Can I get you anything while you're waiting? Do you serve special stuff? Oh, special reserve you mean? Sorry, I can only serve that to a narrow selection of the owner's friends. No, I'm not gonna use my powers. Listen, it's been a rough night. Give me a break, please. Just a sip. He takes out a bottle from a safe behind the counter and pours a bit of brown liquid into a glass. It's whiskey. Oh? Your disappointment is palpable. At least the smell is nice. Torque comes in some 10 minutes later, without Mia. He tips his hat to you. Puts a hand on the blurry-eyed patron's shoulder and says something under his breath. They both laugh. Oh, Marty, how's the night going? Oh. Torque notices the untouched glass with a bit of whiskey in it that you've persuaded the bartender to pour. He takes the glass and drinks the liquid, moving it around in his mouth before swallowing. He looks you in the eye. Sure, I won't keep it forever, but the night when I don't enjoy the taste of good whiskey is the night when I truly consider myself damned. I believe you wanted me here for a reason. Let's hear it. You're about to tell him what brought you here, when the doors to the bar open and Sophie walks in, all splendor and charisma. The patron's eyes are now glued to her, and so are the bartenders. Torque isn't happy with the sight. We had to improvise. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. I believe Lamar already told you why I'm here. Not in any detail, and the circumstances of our meeting were supposed to be different. So, Miss Langley, tell me why I shouldn't ask you to leave and kick out your protege while I'm at it. He will like what I have to say. Yeah, I've heard that line hundreds of times, but 99 of those ended with somebody getting hurt. And that's not something I'm in the mood for tonight. We are wasting time. There is a unique opportunity we should take advantage of. And we only have an hour or so to discuss it before it will be time to act. My driver is waiting outside. Wait a goddamn minute. First of all, I'm not going anywhere without Mia. That was the deal. Second, it's Lamar who was supposed to do the driving, not your servant. Both served me. So really, it's of little difference. The circumstances changed and we had to adapt. Don't be stubborn. Foolishness does not suit you. I have a secure spot in mind where we can talk. Okay. Torque is seething, but he's keeping a lid on his anger. His voice barely changes. My conditions were clear. The way I hear it, you want to break each one of them. I saw no reason at all to agree to any of this. I believe I will be staying put tonight. You have places to be, yes? Torque, you're throwing away the only chance you have at challenging Callahan. Don't be a fool. Oh. Call me a fool one more time, woman, and that's not the only thing I'm going to be throwing. Oh, you're both acting like children. Both Sophie and Torque glare at you. No powers, just their personas are enough to make you feel like you'd prefer to be anywhere else but there. Oh, who the fuck do you think you are? There's only one child here, Lamar. You're their patron, Langley. What does that tell us? Shots break into the front windows and the flashbang goes off in the room, changing the bar into a space of white light and ringing noise. Oh? You feel somebody tugging your back and thrown behind the bar. More shots ring out, bottles break, the TV shatters into pieces, the wooden bar splinters. Your sight comes back, but you think you've gone deaf. Because suddenly the room is silent. You see Stork beside you and Marty, the bartender, bleeding out on the floor. You look over the bar. Sophie is standing there, her dress partially tattered, a visible hole in her leg. She is like the heart of a supernova, entrancing, unavoidable, beautiful and terrifying. In front of her are 8 operatives, looking like a private military force, just standing there, paralyzed by Sophie's magnificence. Okay, bitch, okay. Torque, you still there? Would you kindly show our guests some hospitality? Sure thing. Oh, the Anarch is gone in the blink of an eye, and here he appears next to one of the soldiers. The armor-clad operative's head disappears in a puff of blood and bone. The same thing happens to the second, the third. The fourth head pops. The fifth. They finally realize what's happening, but it's too late. The 6th man is beheaded by what you now see is just Torque's bare-fisted punch. Oh? Torque stops by the 7th man. He rips something off his neck and bites down. Sophie walks over to the last man and has him kneel in front of her before biting as well. On your right, a man in full body armor emerges from the back door, raising his assault rifle. What the fuck? Celerity, of course. With a rush of speed, you take a hold of the soldier's gun. He's too surprised to hold on to it. You turn it on him and shout the first thing that comes to your mind. A combat knife crashes through the soldier's visor and into his skull. You turn around, Torque is grinning. He mouths something under his breath. You can hear the exact words. Okay. Sophie wipes her mouth of blood and looks at him. Oh, that meeting's still an item? Yes, I'll take it. Okay. Torque walks behind the bar and checks on the bartender. You see the Anarch open his own wrist and feed blood to the wounded man. Oh? Drink up, Marky, it'll make you feel better. Get the hell out of here and wait for Mia. She's coming, and she'll know what to do. Take the back door, Lamar. Come on. You slink back into an alley behind the bar, leaving 10 bodies and 1 grievously wounded ghoul behind. Nobody stops you from circling around the block and finding your way to Sophie's car. Gregory drives away casually, as if this was just another late-night drive, and not the crowning of a desperate, complicated evening. Okay. This is getting interesting. The sense of irony just overwhelming. The place where Sophie brought Torque turns out to be the very same apartment in which you were embraced. The way she explains it, the vampire who owned it left the city a few years ago and gave away spare keys to a few trusted compatriots. It's been used sporadically since. Fancy. You like it? It always felt too. Modern for my taste. But what's important is that it's secure. As long as nobody follow your car here, or the fledgling, trouble follows this one wherever they go. Even if that's the case, we have very little time to conduct our business here anyway, and we'll be leaving soon, I hope. So let's begin. Let's stay silent. You look at Sophie excited. Finally, you will learn what it is that you've been working towards for more than a week, and what it is that Kaiser wanted you to participate in. Okay, I have it on good authority that Boss Callahan is bloodbound to Prince Panhard. Oh, okay. That's an accusation and a half there, Langley. Got proof? No, but we're just a boat ride away from getting it. What's that supposed to mean? Lamar, the address that I procured from Kaiser was the meeting spot for Panhard and the Baron's regular sharing of blood, and other bodily fluids if the rumors are true. Oh? Okay, curious. Kaiser knew about this? Is there anything that insufferable clump of dead skin doesn't know in this city? He knows things, but only shares them if you pay. Neither the prince nor Callahan can touch him. He's too useful. Kaiser said something about having plans for me, that he wanted me to make this meeting happen. That can't be good, right? That is an interesting point. I think Kaiser might be as interested in shaking up the status quo as we are. A chaotic landscape makes for a great market for him, unlike a static one. I don't like playing into the creep's hands, but at least now I know that I'm doing it. The devil you know, and all that. What was the address he gave you? They meet regularly on Ellis Island. In fact, their next scheduled meeting starts in just around half an hour. Hot damn. I'm guessing you want to crash that meeting. Why? So you can see the proof for yourself, so that I can make sure too. And so that I have an extra pair of eyes for Panhard to consider when I present her to my ultimatum. The prince must abandon her seat and leave New York City. She can go wherever she pleases, but if she stays, the entire court will know. And the next prince might not look favorably on her past. Dealing with Anarchs, especially so closely, is a punishable offense in the Camarilla, as I'm sure you've heard. Tark strokes his beard and looks intently at Sophie. What exactly are you trying to accomplish here? Say you remove Panhard, and I even remove Callahan. Then what? Torque, did you ever wonder why Callahan is keeping you in check? Because I wondered why the prince condemns Anarchs during her visits to Elysium, but doesn't allow the Ivory Tower to challenge you. She, or they, have engineered this status quo not for the good of their sects, but for private gain. They keep us all in line, because it lets them hold on to power that much longer. And your goal is what? Make this Cold War turn hot? Not a great plan. You Camis will get your butts kicked out of New York City in no time. If you Anarchs manage to organize, which I doubt you will, at any rate, it's a risk I am willing to take. I don't stand alone in this. This entire operation has been years in the making. Torque, I am offering you a chance to square things with Callahan and level the playing field. If we get rid of those two, we can start on equal footing at the next stage of this dance macabre. Aren't you copying the same status quo? How do I factor into this plan? Yes, we will be taking you with us to Ellis Island, both as another set of eyes to witness the Prince and Baron in the act, and as a bit of added security. I don't think Helene or Callahan would dare to lay a finger on me, but they will not find me unprepared. That's our inherent paranoia talking. My gut tells me it's time to get this show started. I do hope you have a boat nearby, Langley. Sophie smiles mischievously. Of course I do. It's waiting for us by the pier. Lead the way then, moonlight's burning. The three of you leave the apartment and walk toward the pier. Nobody seems to be following you. You get on a small patrol boat and double time it through the Hudson's cold, dark waters. Out of all places in NYC where the Prince and the Baron could meet, and it's Ellis Island, a landmark with a dark past. A museum in one hand, a dilapidated piece of history in the other. You leave the boat and make your way to the southern part of the island, paying no heed to the renovated tourist attractions on the northern side. You expected some resistance, a night guard, a helicopter flying overhead, or maybe an NYPD patrol boat? Nothing. The island seems completely deserted. It's clear this sets Sophie on edge. She's moving as quietly and subtly as ever, but you can see that she's eager to reach the particular house her intel pointed out. Torque is following suit, flashing his piercing gaze all over, still clearly uncertain that this isn't some kind of con. Finally, you see it. Light coming from a window in one of the buildings at the edge of the island. The three of you slowly creep closer to the building and take a look inside the window. There it is, Callahan, kneeling in front of the prince, sucking on Panhard's wrist. Both fully clothed, a small blessing. Oh? Torque makes his move, and before Sophie can stop him, he busts through the building's doors. It all happens very quickly. Torque grabs Callahan by the shoulders and throws him through the still open door. Callahan hits the ground hard. Torque appears on top of him and starts punching. Oh, you fucker, you piece of shit. Okay. Stop! The prince's voice takes hold for just long enough to make Torque relent, which the Baron uses to the fullest. He shoves Torque off himself and tries to bite down. Prince, call off your lapdog. Langley? What's the meaning of this? The two Anarchs break apart, both wounded, but neither is quite done yet. They look at one another with pure hatred. Kill the bitch, Helene, but leave the fledgling to me. Right after I deal with this shit stain, I'm gonna... A shrill, unpleasant laugh fills the air. You know who it belongs to. Oh? Okay, this is quite a surprise. So entertaining, truly. It feels almost a shame to break up this spectacle. But alas. Thomas? Who the fuck is this joker? Ah yes, I don't think we met. Though I did hear a lot about you, Mr. Torque. My name is Thomas Arturo, and Callahan uses this moment of uncertainty to strike. He's still too slow for Torque, who throws the boss onto the lawn where the two exchange blows once again. Helene, if you be so kind as to ask your friend to not hurt our guest too much? Callahan, don't kill him! This time, Callahan comes out on top and grabs Torque in an iron hold. Your companion struggles but can't quite break away. I will not be denied, Helene, not this time. Okay. You will do as I command. And she will do as I command her, Douglas. Oh boy. Oh. Curious. What? Like I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, I feel like I need to break up this little spectacle. It's been going on for much too long. You think you're so smart, Langley. You and your clique figure out that there was something fishy going on all your own. But you were always working with just a piece of the puzzle. Wasn't she, Lamar? Oh? Okay. Sophie looks to you, shocked and disappointed. What are you talking about, Arturo? Huh? What I'm talking about? You ask? You, fledgling? You don't know? How could you? Only I knew, and your sire, of course. They're the one who agreed to embrace you. After some negotiations. What? Okay, what's happening? You hear a scream and a curse. It's Callahan, whose arm has been nearly ripped off his body. Torque breaks out of the Baron's grasp, but doesn't continue the attack. Instead, he's at the edge of the water in the blink of an eye and disappears into the Hudson. The only trace left of him is his fedora. Another actor going off script at the very end, eh? No matter. Let him bring us some amusement now that the production is almost wrapped up. He'll reach his allies, he'll tell everyone of this. Helene, even if we naively assume his nights aren't numbered now that he's in the SI's sights, the show must go on one way or another. Won't hurt to encourage leaks and speculation. Sophie looks at you. What? I'm not sure what's going on. How could you, Lamar? I saved you. Arturo suddenly appears next to her and slaps her in the face. Langley, Langley, Langley. What happened to your self-esteem? You can't really think a simple neonate has outplayed you? Or maybe this oblivious act is your way of groveling for mercy? What? You thought that being an expert chess player would always be enough. You never realized the people at the top simply flip the chessboard over and punch you in the face whenever they don't like how the game is going. He motions to the remaining kindred. But the thing is, you weren't even adept at playing the game, you know. Lamar, just another pawn, placed on the board by my associate. You thought they were your piece since you took them in. But who gave you that idea? You returned to the night where you were judged by Prince Panhard. The woman in red, Sophie. Somebody speaking to her, a man in glasses, the man standing before you now. And this is cruel. We know what's going to happen. If only somebody would speak up for the poor child. They could be a useful tool for the Camarilla. Terror creeps on Sophie's face. Of course, those are not the words you heard, were they? No. You were already grasping for some opportunity to further your scheme. I put the bait out, and you took it, hook, and line and sinker. After that, it was only a matter of time before you started using Lamar as your errand boy. No one is quite as easy to track and monitor as a naive fledgling who's just learning the ropes. What is it that you want, Thomas? What do I want? Oh boy. The answer is so simple, but so hard to put into words. Unstable stability. Cutting-edge tales of thrills and intrigue that push it to the limit, and then return you to the tried and tested status quo, gently, infallibly. A system of full, distractingly moving parts which simulates conflict so convincingly that its users never feel a need to direct their energy toward upsetting the system. Achieving the eternal through the disposable, building a city that's like a ship of Theseus, constantly changing its parts, yet always maintaining the same purpose, serving the same goal at all times. A large-scale infrastructure that has something like an exhaust system for the spirit, something that disperses the toxicity around instead of concentrating it in a single space. None of what you're saying makes the slightest bit of sense. Arturo is momentarily stopped in his tracks. He stares into the sky for a few seconds before a sad grin appears in his face. Spoken like someone who's never really had what it takes to make it in the big leagues. With a theatrical snap of fingers, he gives his last sentence a sense of finality. Something's changed in the air. A woman's shape slinks behind Sophie's back. Goodbye, Sophie. Oh? A disheveled woman with what looks like to be garden shears appear behind Sophie. Okay, I don't know what's happening, but I'll push Sophie out of the way. You take off and rush toward Sophie. You only take a few steps before a figure blinks right next to you and pushes you away. Arturo. Oh. You hear the shears snap. Sophie's red hair conceals her face as her head falls, separated from her shoulders. Silence. Arturo's unpleasant laughter erupts right next to you. Oh, Lamar, your career is moving at a breakneck pace, moving up and up and up. Let me congratulate you on your promotion. Huh. Are you going to kill me too? That was the plan. At some point, but I've had a change of heart since then. Helene, feel free to leave us and take the Baron with you. Thomas, I don't think you should. Shush. You're just being jealous. Adelaide, escort the prince and dear old Douglas, please. Oh, okay. Sure thing, darling. Okay. You are left alone next to Sophie's body. You try not to look, but it's hard to ignore her lithe frame decomposing in front of your eyes. Congratulations! You've won this little game. You set out on a suicide mission and successfully brought down the power-hungry wannabe tyrant. Even if it probably wasn't the way you imagined it. Now, you're free to enjoy paradise again. Life after death. Immortality. Eternal youth. What they don't tell you is, of course, living in paradise is inherently sinful when not everyone can partake. But you have the time to learn how to live with sin, don't you? He takes a melancholic look at the city skyline surrounding him. The Statue of Liberty and the lights of Manhattan shimmering in the distance. You know, New York taught me to believe in fate. My unlife began right here, and it began with utter despair. My first instinct was to drown myself in books and keep reading and reading until literature gave me the piece of wisdom I needed to go on. Personally, I find reading a silly hobby in retrospect. I always had this minuscule hope that the next sentence I'd read could finally bring me salvation, but it never did. It only gave me fuel for this elevated, righteous intellectual suffering. But the more I read, the easier it was for me to boil every paragraph down to a power relationship. The characters' influence over each other, the writer trying to impress the reader, etc. The strings everyone pulls started to look like strands that weave into the fabric of fate. And once I saw its beauty, I got teary-eyed. My architect instincts kicked into overdrive. I didn't have to submit to fate. All I had to do was cooperate with it and wait for my time to shine. Give it my input wherever needed until I trusted me to do more. Okay. Thomas steps over what's left of Sophie, wiping his glasses with an elegant cloth from his pocket. And it did. Fate let me look after this city. With my architect's tools, I started quietly shaping the streets and corridors, while Kaiser and his ilk shaped the information flow. Okay. And among many tools this process gave me, one of them was a way to reliably come up with useful agents like you. The methods I used were crude at times, but the route was there. All you had to do was follow it. Some people write rulebook passages, the others plan city arteries. In the end, the effect is the same. Someone always follows. He puts on the glasses and gives you a long, hard look. You know, I have grown fond of you. You did so well. Even when that idiot Callahan tipped the Inquisition off, you still got out. I like that kind of resourcefulness. I could use that kind of resourcefulness. He uncovers his wrist. So take my blood, just enough so we can start off on the right foot, as a sign of good faith. A sign that you're ready to play in the big leagues, ready to behold the sights I've prepared for you. What do you say, Lamar? Psh, oh my gosh. Okay, so I did not expect that. I really thought I was the one who's going to die, but it ended up being Sophie. I don't know actually if this game has multiple endings, so I'm assuming maybe there is. It seems like we already know the scheme that Sophie was planning from the very start itself, so it was like they were just watching what her plan is and who are the people she was dragging into her scheme. It seems like it would always end bad for her, regardless of the endings if there are multiple endings. So yeah. Overall, I did enjoy the game. It got me hooked. I was really into reading whatever their dialogues they were talking about. I think this game really did a great job with introducing the terms, some other clans within the Masquerade. It gives out good points of the history of the two factions, the Camarilla and the Anarchs. It gives out good points of history that doesn't feel overwhelming, which is for me as a player is really good. I was also interested of how my dialogue selection would affect the relationship with each relevant character. So yeah, it's really interesting, and I'm really excited to play the other visual novels connected to the New York faction for the Vampire Masquerade. I think that's all I could say for now. Since this is the first visual novel I played from the Vampire Masquerade, I couldn't really compare it to others, but I'm really excited to play the other visual novels. Also, I want to know your opinions, guys. What do you think about this ending? And feel free to actually comment down below if there's something that I actually missed. Sometimes I do miss some things. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. And I would like to thank the people who commented on my previous video, since this is the very first game that I posted on my channel. It really meant a lot, and it felt like people were actually watching my long ass videos. And if you're new here, hello, welcome to this video, and thank you for reaching up to here. And if you're curious about my playthrough, I already have a playlist on my channel. You could just check it out. Feel free to leave up some comments. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what I did wrong. I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for reaching until the end of this video. I hope to see you guys on my next gameplays or playthroughs or walkthroughs, whatever you call that. Subscribe if you want to, leave a like, and see you guys on my next videos. Bye!